Earlier on today I was doing a video on adding an additional inscription and how I go about laying up that text, and I was showing how to straighten an image, etc. There is a feature in Memorial Designer which does that, but it wasn't working for me this morning because I've got multiple monitors and it was not showing the box on the right monitor. Anyway, I've managed to correct that now, so I can just show you how to do that using the Memorial Designer tool. So we draw a line using the 2-point tool and just draw it across the base of the text, so that we basically want to rotate that text so that it's horizontal. When you're drawing lines, always draw from the left hand side of the line to the right hand side of the line. If you draw it the opposite way around, when you rotate it and straighten it, it'll turn it upside down. It'll be pretty obvious when it goes wrong. So this is the interface which you guys have got normally, and this particular tool isn't on this interface. So how do we find out what it is and how do we use it? Well, if we right click in the toolbar section, we can see that there's a Memorial Designer toolbar. It's a wee bit complicated. It's got lots of bits and pieces on it, some of which you might recognize here, the backgrounds and the things, but other ones not necessarily as obvious. This is the auto size tool, and in order to use the auto size tool, what you do is you select the line that you're going to be straightening, and then shift click the object to select both of them, and then click the auto size. Now there's a couple of things that this will do. What I'm going to use it for here is just to straighten it. So if I click straighten and make the line horizontal and click apply, then all it will do is it will rotate the drawing around so that this line here is now horizontal. I can now delete that line. There was an option you may have noticed in the box to delete the line as well. The other thing, if I just step backwards and go back to where we are, if I have scanned this in and I don't know how big the scan was, it wasn't a one-to-one scan, for example. So if I just go here, delete that line there, and I scale this, so it's obviously now the wrong size. If I was to draw a line and I know that the distance from the corner of the H to the end of the I, I'm a bit approximate because my zoom doesn't work without my mouse connected. If I know that the distance from the edge of that H to the edge of that I is a certain distance, then I can tell the auto scale and auto rotate how long that is. So if it was 120 millimeters, I click delete line, I click straighten, and I click make it horizontal. Then it will rotate. Let's undo that again. Let's go back. Let's change its size so that you can see what's going on. 240 millimeters. So that line is going to be 240 millimeters. I say delete line, I click straighten, click apply, and just press if I just scroll down, we will see. So you can see that it's scaled this text so that the distance between the edge of that H and the edge of that I is 200 millimeters or whatever I typed in. So it's a really cool tool, very useful if you're doing rubbings, or if you're laying out onto a memorial and you've taken a picture of it, etc. And so I actually have that on this toolbar down here, visible all the time. And the way I do that is I press the Alt button, and then I can click and drag this into my toolbar, and then I can right click and say hide the Memorial Designer toolbar, and now I've got access to that tool within here, within the normal interface, rather than having to dive off into the Memorial Designer one. So hopefully that's useful for those people who've got scans that they're taking or photographs that they're taking of memorials to do layouts, etc.